Hi guys, so in this video today I'm going to be going over the basics of face charts and how to get your own face charts. We're going to be going over this face, but do not let this face fool you because there are lots of different things that you can do with face charts. There is a crazy amount. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you want to learn how to make your own face charts and learn how the basics of a face chart, then please keep watching. So here is our printed out face chart on cardstock paper. I'm going to go through just a couple of tools that I use for every single one of my face charts. Obviously, if you want to make them crazy, subtle, it all depends on the technique you use and everything. I suggest, depending on what type of face chart you want to make exactly, you should look it up and just kind of get an idea of how others have done them. But I'm just going to go through a couple of techniques that are mostly used on all of them. These are the brushes that I like to use on the face chart. Obviously, the face chart is smaller than your own face, and it is not going to work like a normal brush. I like to use a brush like this that has a fine tip but is fluffy. I also like to use a really small brush like this for the lips and also for the eyebrows. And then I like to use two different types of fluffy blending brushes. This one is more kind of rectangular and is very straight so that you can get into the contour right here. And then this is a fluffier one that I usually keep clean just to kind of blend everything out. So I like to start out with the brows. As you can see, there are very small brows right about here. I don't ever use them. I just kind of use them as a guide because they're directly above the eye in the right spot. So I'm just going to use the little lines of hair here as a guide. I'm going to do the eyebrows first, and then I'm going to do the shading. So for the eyebrows, I like to use an eyebrow pencil and also a brown eyeshadow or whatever color brows that you're looking for. So I'm just going to use my Smashbox Full Exposure Kit. I'm going to be using this dark brown right here. And then I'm just going to be using my Anastasia brow pencil on this as well. So I'm going to start out by kind of making the shape of the brow. And I'm going to let it fall down right about here. So for the brows, you want to do just little strokes, kind of like they were little eyebrow hairs. I'm going to be taking just my small brush right here, and I'm going to be putting it into this dark brown. I'm also going to be mixing it with this lighter brown too, and I'm just going to kind of shade in those brows to give them a little color. But now that our eyebrows look like grizzly bear eyebrows, we're going to move on to the shading on the rest of the face. I'm going to start out with this brush right here. I'm just going to be taking my sample of the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. And I like to use this one because I actually have the big Hoola Bronzer. And I'm just going to go ahead and tap that very lightly. You want to tap off any excess. And then I'm going to go right here to the cheekbone, and I'm just going to swipe it very lightly. And I like to bring it up. The contour is very interesting on these faces. The face is already very contoured by itself. Whomever this person is has very great cheekbones as it is. So as you go along, some of the product is going to fall off of the brush and kind of just sit on the paper. So you just want to kind of blow it off as you go so that you don't run your hand over it. So that's what I'm going to do for the cheekbones. I also am going to add some contour up here above the brows on the sides. And then I'm just going to contour out the chin just a little bit. So I'm just going to add just a little bit to the chin so that it looks like it's a chin. And then I like to add a little bit right above here to show that there is a Cupid's bow. So then what we're going to do is we're going to contour the nose. I believe that the nose is the hardest part to contour. We're going to need two colors for this, so I'm going to be using my Hoola bronzer as well as that dark brown that I used in the brows. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to contour out the top of the nose or the bridge of the nose. So I'm going to use the eyebrows as my guide. So it's going to start at the eyebrows, and it's just going to go down and around like that. So then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, except I'm going to then take off all the product, and then I could take this brush right here and I'm just going to blend that in. So now that I've done the top of the nose, I'm going to do the bottom of the nose so that you can see where the part right here of the nose comes out. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of my bronzer again. And this time I want to be really precise, so if you don't feel comfortable using this brush, I would go with a smaller one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it right here at the tip of the nose, and I'm going to bring it up to the sides. I'm actually going to switch to a smaller brush. So I want to create the tip of the nose and then the nostrils of the nose. And then I want to blend that out so that it's not as harsh. I'm going to create the nostrils on the side. So as you can see, her nose is sort of coming to life. Once you're done with that bronzer, you're going to go to a darker color, and you want to very lightly put this onto the page. This is just going to help create a little bit more depth. So I'm going to create a little bit more depth in the eyes and a little bit more depth in the nose. So I'm going to start by creating more depth right here on this side. And I'm also going to create more depth in the tip of the nose and the nostrils of the nose. Then I'm going to be taking my blending brush and I'm just going to be blending that in. So moving on to the lips, I'm going to be taking an actual lipstick. I'm just going to be using red. This is the Stila Beso. A pencil or a pen or something like that, preferably a pencil, and I am just going to kind of take out the shading or the part of the lipstick that's supposed to help it look shiny. So I'm just going to draw some little holes and everything. So I'm just going to draw those out and I'm going to go around them. I'm just going to get some of the lipstick onto this paper. Then I'm going to be taking my small brush and I'm just going to be painting that lipstick in. I'm just going to add a little bit of shading and darken up the parts of the lips where I want to show depth. I'm just going to be taking a very tiny bit of a black shadow and I'm going to focus it in the middle of the lips. I'm also going to be taking a little bit to the sides too. After I'm done with the lipstick and that, I like to add I kind of like to shape out the lips a little bit better than they already are. So I'm just going to create kind of like the upper and upper and bottom lip. Moving on to the eyes. The eyes are probably the hardest part. What I'm going to start out with is a NYX Jumbo pencil in milk, and this is a white color. I'm just going to place this white color all over the entire eye. And you also want to remember that this paper is white and it is not like your skin color. So keeping that in mind, when you're putting a base down, you want to put a white base down. So then for the eyes, you definitely want to use smaller brushes. I'm just going to do a really, really simple eye on her. So I'm just going to be taking this bronze color. So as you can see, this eye looks okay, and this one is a little bit screwed up. So a little trick to remember on this, especially, it only really works for shadows, not anything that's creamy, like lipstick or cream shadows. You can use an eraser of a pencil to kind of help you out. So if I just go ahead right there and erase that away, it is going to erase. Moving on to the eyes. For the eyeliner, I like to line the eyes the way that I want first. So I'm just going to go ahead and line the top line. And you want to do this with eyeliner. I'm going to show you how to create the eyelashes. You want to have a really, really precise liquid liner pen for this. You can also do this with gel liner. I personally like it with liquid liner, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. You want to do fast, small strokes. Eyelashes are not perfect, so you're just going to go ahead and draw them on. You want to make sure they're slightly curved. The brush could even be thinner than this because this is kind of coming off thick. So you want to definitely take your time with the lashes because those look very bad. But these are a little bit of a better idea of what the lashes could look like. You don't have to make them look like that. I think the lashes are honestly, for me, they're the hardest part. That is what our face looks like. You can also, if you wanted to, add some color to the eyes. I like to do this with just like an eyeliner pencil. So if I take a blue one, especially this one because it has a smudger at the end, I like to circle the eye in blue. And then I'm just going to be taking this and smudging it around the eye. There are a lot of things that you can do with face charts. Here is another one of mine. As you can see, this is what happens when you use liquids on the paper. And you have to be careful about smudging as well. This one was on computer paper, or not computer paper, this one was on construction paper. As you can see, the paper is thinner, but it does work out if you can't get your hands on cardstock. And as you can see, it doesn't blend as well. So this is using a foundation. And then I actually tried this one with a base, and the base did not work out. So Those are just a couple. You can also get really creative with it as well. Face charts are a lot of fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'm sorry it was so long, but I really wanted to kind of show you how to make a face chart. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below and I will be sure to answer them for you. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tag #BeautyByJulia or send your face charts to me at BeautyByJulia on my Instagram. Or, like I said, you can #BeautyByJulia. But thanks, guys, so much. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you soon. Bye. Mwah.